I'm a good person. I'm not into drugs. I don't hurt people. I care about people. Why do I need to go to church? Why do I need to participate in this process of being with other people?
Jesus told Peter in Matthew 16, 18 and 19, "Thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church." Jesus Christ has a church. So when you are saved, Christ leads you to his church. In Acts 7, 37, 38, when Stephen preached a very powerful sermon, he said Moses was with the church in the wilderness. God called the Israelites out of Egypt and formed them into a nation church. Now, why do I say that? In Exodus 19, reading from verse 4, the Bible says, "Ye have seen what I did unto Egypt, unto Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation." God brought the Israelites out, and at the base of Sinai, he incorporated them into a nation church. The entire nation was a church, and the church was a nation. And so God said, if you obey me, I will make you a holy nation. And a holy nation is one that practices holiness 7 days a week, not only on Sabbath. And so the concept of church is very, very important, because the church on earth is founded by Christ. And the constitution of that church, he issued at Sinai his 10 commandments. And so Jesus says, the gates of hell shall not prevail against my church. In Acts chapter 9, when Christ met Saul on the road to Damascus and he knocked him off his horse, Saul said to him, and Saul later became Paul, "Lord, what wilt thou have me to do?" And Jesus said, "Go into the city, and it shall be told thee what thou must do." Christ sent Paul to the church at Antioch, and the church told Paul what he should do, because the church had the authority to speak for Christ. Christ could have told Paul right there on the ground what he ought to do, but Christ wanted Paul to understand, I have a group on this church that speaks with authority because they say what I say. And so Jesus sent Paul to the church, and the church told him what he ought to do. It is important to be in church. Not any church. It's important to be in the church that obeys and recognizes the authority of God. Being in church is absolutely important, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. In the natural world, a lion or a cheetah or a leopard, when they choose prey, they try to isolate an animal from the herd. Once the animal is isolated, it becomes more susceptible to being attacked. This happens spiritually. You probably have felt this way in church, surrounded by fellow believers who are praying and singing and doing whatever else. There's a feeling of strength. When you are by yourself, the feeling is slightly different. Christ has a church, and it is important to be part of that church. It is dangerous to just serve God on your own in an isolated circumstance. That puts you in spiritual peril. It is important to be part of the church body.